Welcome to the chaos.
I'm a Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up. You remember when you used to sing that?
Grow up.
And then you grew up. I'm going back to being a Toys R Us kid. I don't
Toys
care.
R Us doesn't exist anymore.
Inside it does. Inside my brain.
I don't know what you did at Toys R Us, but it probably wasn't the same thing I did.
Man, Toys R Us was so fun. For I don't know if you remember when you had to get a video game, they had like the little yellow tickets.
No.
This is probably way before your time.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
What up, everybody? This is a segment. What up, everybody, and welcome back to the Chaos. Today we have on entertainer, performer, producer, digital creator. The girl does it all. Everybody, the lovely Nikki Kemnetz.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello,
homie.
how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank
Thank
you.
you for coming on, filling in last minute.
Of course.
We always appreciate it. And we wanted to have her on anyway. We were just trying to find the right time, but your boyfriend was also like, I don't know if I want the world to see what my girlfriend's doing, so... Sorry, I'm talking
Hi,
to you.
boyfriend.
Talking to you, JP.
Hey.
Well, I'm here. I'm excited to be here.
No, we're grateful to have you here. And your boyfriend is one of my best friends and like my brother, so you're like family automatically. So she love being around her. She's probably some of the best energy type of people to be around.
Thank
So let's kick it off. Homie, tell us a little bit about how you kind of got into the arts, what you're doing kind of up to now, and because you got a lot of really cool things going on and a lot of different projects you're working
I
on.
have a lot going on right now. Honestly, like it's one of those things that I didn't even realize how busy I was until the other day. I just like kind of had an epiphany and I was like, hey babe, I actually have a lot of f***ing shit going on and I'm like stressed for a reason. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of like stressing at home and I'm like, I feel like I have a lot going on, but like nothing is really like, it's a lot of little projects or actually like big projects that you're taking like little steps towards and I'm not seeing any outcome, but I'm like, they're big goals. Like they're going to take time. And I'm like, yeah, I have a lot of shit going on right now. So, yeah.
That's a good thing though.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a point in time where you're like if you look back 10 years, you're like, man, I really wish I was where you are now.
Yeah,
and
no,
you're finally
absolutely.
doing
Even
it.
just like a year ago, honestly, like it's just, there's so much going on. I'm so grateful. I mean, I lost a job, last May and I was, I knew it was coming. It was like one of those things that I was like, my time is coming and I'm actually going to be grateful that this is happening. But at the same time, it's like, you're still losing a job, that's still something that's going on. So when this one opportunity left me, a million more flooded in, but in a different like perspective in a way. Like it wasn't a 9-to-5 that I'm going to every day. It's like all stuff that I'm doing at home. So it's hard to realize how much I'm accomplishing, but it's good. It's all good things. So yeah, I have a brand that I'm working on called Hi Girl. And I'm having like merch drop soon.
Like hi girl.
Hi
Or-
Girl.
Or like
but
hi.
it's both.
Oh.
It's play on words.
I like
it. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it. What's Hi Girl about?
So Hi Girl, actually JP came up with the name. Yeah.
Look at
I
him
know,
being
yeah,
supportive
he's
and
the
helpful.
best.
Aw.
But so Hi Girl, I became, can I just like start from the beginning? I'm just going to start from the beginning. Okay. So I moved here, it'll be 11 years actually in February. I moved out here to pursue my dance career and, immediately about a year in, I got hired at Universal Studios and it was like my dream job. Like it was a dream job that I didn't even know like I wanted to do. Cause I came out here and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do like the whole go on tour, kind of thing. And, I realized that like I wasn't really manifesting that the correct way because I was still fearful of that opportunity. Even though I wanted it, I was still like, a part of me still didn't really believe that I deserved it, I guess, in a way, that whole, side of it. And then so I got booked at Universal Studios and I was there for 10 years. That was like my comfort. And then COVID hit and, COVID
was that the job that
COVID.
was kind of going to the end?
Yeah.
Oh wow, 10 years. And
yeah.
what were you doing there?
I was dancing. So I got, my first job there was a vampire dancer. So I was dancing like, it was kind of promoting Halloween Horror Nights. So I was dancing during the day as a vampire. But that was just seasonal. So I was only doing that for the Halloween season. And then I would take like a few months off and then I would audition again for the Christmas season. And then I did Grinchmas and then took a few months off, did the summer season, whatever, so on and so forth for about like 4 years. So it was never like full time. I was still serving and, doing all the other things to try to make money. And then it was one of my goals to just dance full time. Like I didn't want to do anything else. I just wanted to do what I love to do as my income. And that came into fruition. I don't even know what year it was, but I became a Bobaton dancer in Harry Potter world.
Oh.
And so I did that for 6 years.
With the blue?
With the blue, yeah. The butterflies, all the things.
Wait.
Do you have
You
questions?
have any friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That still
That still do that?
They gotta have the outfit though. No, I'm joking.
Actually, we do.
Anyways, moving along.
So
Not in his head though. Not in his mind. He's still there.
Oh my God. It's still there.
Yes.
Please go back to your story.
So, I was a Bobaton dancer for 6 years. Then COVID hit. It was like the best thing ever. It was full time. It paid my bills. My goal, I accomplished my goal. I was like, I don't have to do anything else but dance here for a living. Had a 401k, health benefits, everything. Then COVID hit and, everyone went through the same shit, whatever. And so that's when I decided to just start doing TikTok videos just for fun. And I would just get high and post on TikTok and people were like, oh my God, you're stoned. Like, that's amazing. And then literally within like a few months, I gained 1.4 mil on TikTok and I still don't get it. I'm still...
I don't think you're supposed to get it. Like,
No.
when people all blow up on that shit. Like,
It literally happened overnight. Like, what the
yeah.
are you supposed to do? And not only that, like, it's not like it was like, okay, I've been working towards this goal for 10 years as a dancer, and oh my God, I went viral on TikTok for dancing, and now I'm like pursuing my dance career. You know what I mean? It was like,
You
I
got
went
high.
viral for getting stoned.
We're not getting low. We're getting high. We need to cut in one of our TikTok videos here in the video, right?
White J's, white Porsche, white wrist, white horse, high bitch, high bitch, high bitch, high bitch.
Yeah,
But, like-
that's crazy.
But like
yeah.
you said, you were working so much, and like you have so many dance videos. Like, yo, you're an incredible dancer. Like, you have so many dance videos, and you're just like, damn. But like you said, you never know. Like, yo, I have so many videos of me saying cool shit and performing. What I get known for on social media is doing chicken tender dances at festivals. It's like, that's not what the I'm trying to do.
Right.
And you're just like, but like you said, it's like it just doesn't make sense.
It
but
doesn't.
but you've made it work for you though.
Yeah. Yeah. I
What
mean,
is
that's
stuff
what you have
that's-
to do. Like,
Yeah.
you have to just make it work.
So how'd you transition that from High Girl? Because that's part of your brand now.
Yes.
So like, how did you? Because like you said, some people might just get pissed off and be like, "Oh, this isn't what I want." But you're like, "No, let me see how I can take this and then piggyback off of this."
Absolutely. Because, I mean, obviously, like, it's kind of cool actually when you think about it, because dancing, it's really not who I am. It's like, it's a part of me, but it's not, it's just an activity that I love to do. I mean, obviously, like, it fuels my soul in that sense. It is a part of me in that sense, but like, it doesn't define me. And so obviously marijuana doesn't either, but it allowed me to, I guess, like, people were able to see a part of myself that I never would have showed off anyways, unless you met me in person and whatever. But I've never been one to really like post stuff online. I don't know. It was just a way for me to, like, people saw my personality and they saw a part of me that was just genuine and loved it. And that's kind of cool to really like think about that. People didn't really fall in love with my dance moves, but they fell in love with like my personality, which is kind of cool. So High Girl, I'm piggybacking off of that because it's, a lot of the comments that I would get that kind of fueled my imposter syndrome was, this is your only personality. This is all you do. And I believed it, like, for a minute. And I had to, like, it was like everyone's human. Everyone has that little voice inside of them that tells them that they can't do it, And until you realize that you're in control of that voice and there's a higher voice and there's a louder voice behind that one that's telling you, like, no, you can fucking do this. Like, once you realize that that voice is so much more powerful than that little voice, you really realize that you are absolutely like in control of your life and what you want to do with it. And so I had to quiet that voice while quieting the haters' voices.
Yeah, you
and
can't listen. You can't read that shit.
No, you
You can't
can't
read
because
reviews. You can't read shit about like.
because it will fuel that little voice.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone has it. Everyone has that little voice. And when you read those comments, like you just it will fuel that voice inside of you. And so the best thing to do, unless you're really like you really know that those aren't going to matter, then read them, do whatever you want. But I'm sensitive to it, so I know I can't read those. Those comments.
So two-part question to it.
Yeah.
Then. One, how much did it really affect you? And like, what was the effect? Was it anxious? Was it fear? Was it depression? And obviously you've now moved past it. There's a couple other things I've seen you post that we'll definitely talk about that have really shown who you are as a person. But what do you do to combat that? Because there's so many people that are going through what you go through on the internet, like at this point, because people are f***ing ruthless and mean, and like you're one of the sweetest people I've ever met. Nobody should say a bad thing about you ever.
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly a great question. When I did let those voices get to me, I did let those comments get to me, and I believed that this was my only personality trait in a sense, and that like, well, it's the only people that people saw in me that they relate to, so it must be the only thing that matters. And I didn't really see that as a bad thing though. So I kind of like pushed dance to the side all last year. And I started focusing more on like getting high and doing this and doing that. And I kind of lost a sense of who I was. I was like, this isn't who I'm not just this. Like and like, what's the word? I radiate positivity, and I know this. Like I know who I am. And to allow people to get in that and get into my way and get into my mindset, it really me up. Like it really did. And I started going to therapy last May, and I realized that that those comments just really fueled the like the little voice that's telling me that like I'm not worthy of anything that's going on. And right now, I'm literally just now realizing like who I am and like the power I hold, and that like if you're given an opportunity, it's there for a reason. Like, and don't bypass it. So I've combated it literally through therapy, journaling, affirmations. I am confident. I am worthy, and just doing the work, honestly. And I think it honestly, like I can say that when I first blew up, I wish that I had the mindset now to be able to go on different paths and like focus on different things at the same time. Like I don't have to just focus on my brand at the, whatever. I can work on my brand and dance and do this and do that all at the same time. And at one point, I was really just focusing on getting high because I thought that was the only thing that like people wanted to see from me. And it sounds so silly,
No, not at
that
all.
like admitting that, but like it's true. Like 1.4 million people followed me just because I got high. How could I not think that that's the only reason why I'm worthy? Yeah. So it's like I had to really like take myself out of that mindset and really kind of start from scratch. And at the same time, let me add to that, I had just lost that job that I had for 10 years dancing. So I was like, is this the end of my dance? Like, is this the end of dancing for me? Like, are all those people right? Like, I don't do anything else but smoke weed and like, that's it. Like, but no, like, that's not true. Like I've been dancing for 28 years. Like that's crazy that like I allowed these people to get into my head that way. And yeah, I really wish that I had the knowledge that I know that I have now, to have told even just Nikki a year ago, what she can accomplish and what is possible, because I really do think that I had a lot of momentum at the beginning, and I allowed the comments to stop that. But like I said earlier, everything happens for a reason. And although I wish that I could kind of go back in time and take the knowledge that I have now and apply it to myself then, I wouldn't take anything away from what I have now. Like, I truly believe that where I'm at now is where I'm supposed to be. And I didn't pursue whatever I wanted, whatever I should have pursued last year, because it's supposed to be happening now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to find a silver lining in
Yeah.
in what you had to go through that, because maybe at that point you thought you were good.
Yeah.
But these people like brought out, and that's what they do. They feed on your insecurities and your vulnerability, and they open up this side of you that you didn't know was there.
Yeah.
So maybe it's in hindsight, it's a good thing
Yeah,
that they
blessing in
showed you that,
disguise, absolutely.
because then you were able to work on that. And now,
Totally.
like, if it happens again, you're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Just brush sweep it, brush your shoulders off.
Exactly. And I truly believe that all happened. Like, I can't be like, no regrets, there's everything happens for a reason. And so although I may have wished I did things differently a year ago, or a couple years ago when I first blew up, I didn't know better. Like, I'm not a businesswoman. Like, I'm now growing into one. I'm learning how to become one. But like, I was literally like, it was just like anyone off the street that just like blew up like overnight. Like, it's not like I was like everyone wants to go viral, right? But you don't think of what could actually come from that. It's like, yeah, I want to become viral, but like, why? Like, what would you do if you had this following?
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking of that. Like,
that's what every famous person, like celebrities, there's no textbook to fame. Like, there's no, when it happens to someone, it's their unique experience, and one famous person to the next can't tell you how to handle it. You know what I mean? And so you literally, like, almost overnight became the celebrity on TikTok, and there's nothing wrong that you didn't know how to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's work to that. Like, you did the work, and now how were you able to now change it and flip the coin?
So now, I'm realizing that like mental health is huge, like huge. And I've always been super open to it. Like, I've always been a very like vulnerable person. I'm one of those people that like I can tell I can tell anyone off the street about my life. Like, I'm just an open person like that, an open book. But I didn't really tap into like the shadow side, like we were just talking about, until it was kind of forced out of me through negative comments and whatnot. So now I want to, bring awareness to mental health and how much it can just really affect you, even though it's hard and it hurts and whatever. Like, it really does make you grow. It forces you to grow. And I really want to just show that to people, and also change the stigma around marijuana, because that's another thing that I kind of shamed myself for doing, like, for years. Like, I've always smoked weed, like, since I was 17, and I've always hid it from my parents. I always, like, didn't want to get high and, like, tell people that I was high. Like, I was shameful of it. And that, in a sense, I was, like, manifesting that into who I was. Like, that there was a reason to be shameful for that, but when there really isn't. And so I want to show people that, like, you can smoke weed and run a business, be an entrepreneur, like, have a positive mindset, like, not just like lay on the couch all day and stay depressed. Like, smoking weed is saving my life in a way. And like, it's just like the stigma on it of like, you'd rather me take I can take a shot on TikTok, no problem. I can show a bottle of tequila and be like, hey, I'm going to take a shot of this tequila right now and get wasted while I do my makeup. Want to watch me? And people would love it, whatever. It wouldn't get taken down, no violations. I have like 12 videos that have gotten taken down of just like implying that I smoked weed. That's crazy. That's like crazy. People like, I don't know. I've never heard of anyone dying from smoking weed.
And it's a type 1, well, it was, just got changed. It's a type 1 narcotic, according to law books. Like that's
Which
up
is like-
there with heroin.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense because you have anxiety, I have anxiety. We've talked about this before. Weed is what helps me. Like
Yeah.
I'm now much better, but like I wouldn't be able to get to where I am without smoking so much weed because my anxiety was through the roof. I don't want to take pills. I didn't want to do Adderall. This is like my new Adderall, and kind of the same thing. It's like for a while people give me shit like, oh, you're smoking so much weed. It's like, you take 3 anxiety pills a day, right? Why can't I smoke 3 joints? What the is the difference?
Literally.
My liver's not getting up from that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so like, yeah, there's such a stigma surrounding it, but obviously there's its own agenda. But yeah, I mean, it's a huge thing that definitely needs to be changed. And
Yeah.
I think it's cool that, you really are putting a big emphasis on that.
Yeah. I really like that's what high girl is it's like hi girl, like hey, hi, hello, but also like hi girl, like
I'm high.
I'm a high
Yeah.
girl. Yeah.
Hey, all, I'm high.
Yeah. And so I right now it's just like the brand name, whatever, but I want it to branch down into other things like merch, eventually. Like these are just like little goals that eventually I want to come into fruition, whatever. But I eventually want to do like oracle cards and like journaling, planning, planners, whatever, just things that have really helped me on my mental health journey. And also, one of the things that my therapist has told me, actually, because I brought this to his attention, that like, do I need to stop smoking weed? Like, because like there are times where I smoke weed and I'm like anxious, or I do have like intrusive thoughts that come in, and it's only when I smoke. And so I brought it up to my therapist. I'm like, I love smoking so much. Like I can feel that it helps me, like it genuinely helps me. But there are other times that I'm in maybe a weird funk, or like my mindset is maybe slightly off that day. And when I smoke, it's the opposite effect, and I actually have an anxiety attack instead of it calming me. And so this was one of our sessions. We talked about it, and he said that like he smokes weed himself. He's this older man. He's literally saved my life. He's amazing. But he told me that weed is actually like an eye-opening drug. Like it is an enlightening drug or substance that because you hear people all the time like, oh, I don't like smoking weed because it gives me anxiety, or I'm paranoid when I smoke weed. He told me that if you smoke weed and you are anxious, that you are living your life in a state of anxiety. Or if you smoke weed and suddenly you're paranoid, you're living your life in a state of paranoia. And whatever comes up in your mind while you're anxious or paranoid while you're smoking is what you need to address when you're sober. And so I was like,
It's a cool concept.
So I'm living my life as a cartoon character. Because that's what I feel like whenever I smoke. I'm a fucking cartoon character. Yeah.
No, then you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Like you're living your life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's good.
There's that little kid inside of me.
Yeah.
Where? Let me out my.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
know?
good. Like that's how it should be.
Everyone should get high with Danny at least at one point in life. It's hysterical. I'm just saying.
In college, they used to like invite new people to my friend's dorm, and he'd just be like, "Here you go," and he would like wind me up, and just like, and I would just stand up and perform for like hours, and I didn't.
we should do it, yo.
Would he actually like?
Yeah, no, he wouldn't wind me up like that. Yeah, that would have been hilarious though.
We should do that one episode though. Just get you high, don't tell nobody, and watch you stand up and perform.
Yeah, but that gave me anxiety because I knew like people were there to watch me, you know, and so I felt like I was getting taken advantage of my talents, my traits.
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
I know. I never had a good relationship with weed though. Maybe because of those memories. Now that I'm thinking about it, but I just like I never feel like I'm in control and being in public. No,
Yeah.
like my friend. I call him my Obi-Wan Kenobi of like smoking because Eric, he would just take me to the 7-Eleven 2 blocks away, and for me that was like more to, like, my God, everybody knows,
Man.
but like why? Like who cares, right?
Right. No, literally no one
Yeah.
cares. Yeah. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
Is like, and obviously like I'm an avid smoker. Like because majority of the time I love how it makes me feel. But then there is that like little percentage where I'm like, what's happening? And those are the moments where I'm like, okay, I know I need to journal this or whatever when I'm sober. But for you, like you don't get high a lot. You don't smoke a lot, right?
No, never.
So like if you don't like it, then it's like you're not. And then you do once in a while, and it stresses you out. Like there's no reason to force yourself into like figuring out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how you can smoke weed with ease. Like you know what I mean?
I think people need to be a little bit more knowledgeable about it because it's like, oh yeah, I smoked one time. It's like, okay, but what did you smoke? How much did you smoke? Like, let's compare it to drinking. If you never drank before in your life, you're gonna start with a beer, or if I give you a bottle of Johnny Blue and you start throwing that back, how you gonna feel?
Right.
Same thing with cannabis. There's so many different types of strands. What they do is different. There's different levels of potency. So if you have no idea what you're smoking, but like if me and her were to smoke with you, be like, okay, what do you want to feel like? I'm sure we can find something at the proper dosage and the proper strain where you're like, oh, okay, I with this.
Yeah, I've gotten like, I've gone to the what do you call them now? What do you call them now these days?
Dispensary?
Dispensaries. And I tell them like I rolled in. I'm like, I want the weakest shit that you got in here because I have insomnia and I want to go to sleep. And they gave me the weakest shit, and I took my friend's like, yeah, just take one hit, like 2 seconds, dude. I got tired, and then as soon as my head hit the pillow, I felt like I was in a theme park.
Well, hold on.
You were like
weakest
spinning?
shit though.
Mind you,
What?
I'm paralyzed.
The weakest
all right?
sativa?
I'm paralyzed, so I'm literally sinking into the bed, and I'm like, I can't. I'm like a turtle on a shell, dude. Help! And I could feel like Freddy Krueger Part 1, Johnny Depp getting sucked into the bed, and that's what I go through. And I'm like, this is the weakest shit you got. So like now I'd learn. I'm like literally like this, and I put it away. And that's just enough. But sometimes like mentally, like it relaxes my body, but my brain is like, it zips it up, you know?
Yeah.
And it opens my third eye when I don't want it to, and I've tried it's indica, I think. It's like the one that relaxes you.
Indica's a body high.
So I don't know. I think, I've heard people having allergies to weed, and I think maybe I'm slightly allergic to it. I don't know.
That could be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of stuff that
I never had an
my
allergy that made me
God.
feel like I was in a theme park, though.
weed always does it to me, dude. Yeah.
Like it makes you spinny?
No, not
Makes you,
spinny.
like-
It's not like a physical. It's just a mental. Like that third eye gets so wide open that it's just a lot of. Like if I were to smoke right now, everything would get bright. I'd feel like I was on a movie set. Like
Oh, yeah.
he's a director. She's the fucking I mean,
technically that's
Kind of.
That's literally what we're doing.
Kind of literally what we're doing.
But like,
I mean,
but-
not
yeah.
kinda. Like we
that's
literally
what I'm
are
doing.
doing that. Yeah.
Cameras on.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm in
And
the
a big light, like.
I'm in the 7-Eleven thinking that the guy, yeah, I'm in the 7-Eleven thinking it's a movie set, and I'm like, that's, and it's always like that.
You're always acting in life, bro.
I know, right?
You're living in it. You're
Seriously.
always an actor.
Yeah, it's true. Back on our lovely guest.
I got our lovely guest. With you having 1.4 million followers, it's a lot of people looking at you. But there's also, like you said, there's a lot of people that were really, tearing you down. But there's also the other side of it with a lot of people building you up. And you put out a video that I thought was one of the coolest things I've seen somebody do. Is you kind of went on, no makeup on, very plain face, and you're like, I know everybody's commenting, thinking I do this, but yo, this is me. Mm-hmm. This is what I really look like. This is how I really feel. And you went out there technically in front of 1.4 million people, and we're just so raw and honest and open. I'm like, that had to inspire a ton of people. So where did you get the courage from to do that, and why did you feel you needed to?
Excuse me, sorry.
Sorry, take your time.
I hit a breaking point. There was nothing else I could have done, honestly. I felt the lowest I had ever felt in my life. So last year, around May, around the same time, I lost my job and everything. I also I was kind of forced into quitting my birth control. Thank you. And so that, it's a whole thing. But when a woman is on birth control for 12 plus years, it's synthetic hormones that are controlling her body instead of allowing her natural hormones to do their job. So when I was forced off of this birth control, I also kind of knew, I was also like, I think I kind of manifested it in a way also because I had been talking to my friends about how I kind of feel like I should be off of this because it's controlling my body. Like, it's what was keeping my acne at bay. It was literally everything. Like hormones control everything. And so I kind of manifested it, I think. And so I went with it. I rolled with it. When the opportunity came for me to stop it, I was like, okay, it's time. We're going to stop it. And that was literally taking all of the synthetic hormones that were getting pumped through my body for 12 years, just complete halt, complete stop. So my body was like didn't know how to produce hormones. I was like, I was I was going through it. My hormones were all over the place. My acne was the worst it had been since I was 12, like not even, like probably the worst of my entire life. Plus I was turning 30. So that's another like milestone where hormones go out of whack and like shit changes, whatever. So I was literally at my breaking point at that moment of, it had been May to October. I don't know how many months that is, but that long since not being on birth control. And I was it was my 30th birthday. I think it was the next day or 2 days before my 30th birthday. And I just really like thought to myself, like, I kind of just thought to myself, like, I don't want to do anything for my birthday. But then another part of me was like, if you don't do anything for your 30th birthday, like, how is that going to make you feel? You know what I mean? It's going to make you feel even worse. And then I had to go even deeper and think like, okay, well, why don't you want to do anything for your birthday? Like, why do you feel this way? And it came down to like my acne and why, like, I just didn't want to show myself, whatever. And then it opened up a whole nother can of worms. Well, you're not even posting. Like, you haven't been posting normally on your social media, your TikToks, like your Instagram, like haven't been updating like with life, like anything. And it literally came down to my acne. It came down to how I looked. And I was like, the only thing that is going to make me feel better right now is to be 1000% authentic. Because right now I feel I'm hiding, and that's a form of like inauthenticity. You know what I mean? It's like not, I was always known for, I mean, I just gained 1.4 million followers for being consistent on social media. And then I came to a halt. Like, that's like, something is not right here, you know? So I was like literally thinking to myself, like, what would make me feel good? Like, makeup doesn't make me feel good. Like, putting on a filter doesn't make me feel good. Like, what will make me feel good? And I was like, just being authentic, and people that resonate with it and love me after for it and continue to love me, like, are really meant to be in my life. And those that aren't. And so it'll show me that. And, yeah, that's, I just literally reached my breaking point, and I was like forced within myself. Like, I forced myself to do that. And I truly believe that's where my healing like began.
And what was the response from that? Thank you for sharing that, by the way. And
I didn't get one negative comment. I didn't get one negative anything from it. I didn't, even to this day, like right now, I can't think of anything negative that came from it. Not one thing.
So instead of maybe looking at it as your breaking point, wasn't that your point of triumph? Maybe kind of masked, you know?
Yeah.
Because like that's what kicked everything off, and now you're back thriving. I see your posts all the time. I see your dance videos, you and JP's dance videos, the most adorable thing in the world.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So like obviously like that. So then from there, that had to really start to build your momentum.
Yeah.
So what happened between there and where you're at now, and how the brand has really now developed?
Honestly, I'm still in the beginning of it, but I launched my first little brand of merch, I guess, or little, I don't even know what it's called. My first piece of merch, yeah. Just through a print-on-demand company. They helped me with it, whatever. And so I launched that and saw, I didn't even promote it as much as I should have, and I still saw a good amount of numbers. So I was like, wow, if I really like took control of this and like made merch that I'm actually extremely proud of, and like, because that was still someone that was in control of it. Like they still developed it. Like I told them what I wanted, but they made the shirt, where now I I want to like design my own products. And so if I'm like really proud of the stuff that I'm putting out and really take the time to promote it, I know I'm going to see numbers. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I am getting a website and the whole thing, and I'm really looking forward to it.
How are you spelling Hi Girl?
HIGH, comma, girl. The first, and it's all about like trial and error. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. I don't know what the I'm doing.
Nobody does.
No.
It's okay. Nobody does.
But that's the thing, is that's how we hold ourselves back, is because I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just not going to do anything. But that's you're literally self-sabotaging yourself instead of just like doing it wrong and doing it better the next time. Like I know it sounds so cliche and like so like duh, obvious, but like it's not.
It really is. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
You just got to
You got to do it.
It's that simple. Like you said, you kind of get in the way of yourself. It's like success is an objective concept. Everybody thinks there's a definition of success, but there's really not. There's 8 billion people on this planet. There should be 8 billion different answers of what success feels like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's so true. It's like success is everything. Like waking up in the morning and making your bed, and self-care is a form of success. Like being able to do that is like, there's success within like every day. Like you succeed with something every fucking day. And yeah, like I said, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing, but I'm learning, and
it's making you feel good, and you're helping people.
Yeah.
Like, you're helping people, and I'm trying
helping
like
people.
we're at the end of like we all went through these journeys that where we're at now, we're all helping people in some sort.
Yeah,
And,
to help them get to where they want to be as well.
and we didn't know that was our path.
No.
We were like trying to help ourselves. Like we don't know, we want to try to take care of ourselves, but now we're like, okay, now that I'm good, I feel good. Now this like just kind of happened. Like you're helping other people because they're seeing that you're good and you went through it.
Yeah.
So like now, you're on
whammy.
right? You're on TikTok,
you're on
1.4 mil. Like you're helping young people. They, you were vulnerable, and they're like, oh my God, I felt that way too. Like, she did it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool that ripple effect.
Especially with self-image. Like self-image is huge.
And social media has
Social media
killed
kills it.
people's social. I mean, like, I'm sorry, like filters. That thing ruined people. It ruined people.
I one of my friends, she is a receptionist at a plastic surgeon's office, and she'll be like, people will come in and be like, I want to look like this. And she's like, you can't. That is a filter. We cannot make you look like that.
It's crazy, man.
It's scary. It's sad. It's actually really sad. It's really sad.
I recently, because I'm chronically single at the moment. I went on somebody, and I didn't want to do this, like go on dating sites, but somebody talked me into it because they're like,
Marty met his wife that we had on
cool.
one of the other episodes. He met his wife through, bro, we have a lot of friends actually. They may not talk about it.
Like I'm on
But it happens.
But like,
I wouldn't do it, but it happens.
it sucks when you meet somebody and you're
I have
like,
a girlfriend though, it's okay. I don't have to.
where's your filter? When you meet them in real life. Because like I'm like, you're on a dating site. You're going to meet this person in real life, and they're going to see that you don't look like that, right?
Yeah.
Or you might not like some fucking Manti Teo shit. That could happen.
Yeah,
too.
but I have been tried to be Manti Teo'd. I got catfish a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like after my act, I don't know what it is. That's a whole nother podcast. But
we could deep dive into that.
There's a community of people that like are obsessed. It's like they're fetishes for people with disabilities and stuff like that. But yeah, back to the filter thing. I'm like, you're just not being genuine. You're like trying to meet other people to bring into your life, and you're immediately, I'll stop after this, but. Some women will say, like, I hate liars and I hate people who are dishonest, and you have a super filtered picture. I'm like,
It's the
okay.
same, hand in hand.
Swipe left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyways. But yeah, like, what you're doing is amazing, and you're being truthful and honest and helping people get through that. So
yeah, because I think a lot of people reached out, not even reached out, just like commented that they were going through the same thing or did go through the same thing. So like we were just saying, like, although it's crazy, I had like a mix of comments saying that like I was helping them, but also they're helping me. Like I went through this, I went through the same thing hormonally, whatever, like it ends, like everything will be fine, and at the same time, I'm being open about someone else that's going through it right now that doesn't have the courage to feel to go do something that makes them feel pretty because they don't feel worthy of feeling that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just really cool.
I think not enough people realize how much healing goes into helping others. Like that's the
Oh my
currency in
God,
the world
yeah.
that we need, where it's like people are asking us for shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, well, but if I'm helping people, it heals myself. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want somebody to feel as dark and as down as I did. So it's like when you see yourself in that person, you healing them helps you in return. Helps that little
Absolutely.
child in you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's nothing better than getting that message or that DM from somebody like, I saw what you did. Like, thank you. Like, what else can I do to
Yeah.
better my? And you're like, oh my God, like I touched someone and
Yeah.
that I didn't know that was even listening.
Yeah.
You know?
The first event I ever did that you two were both at was the fucking coolest night of my life because I've never felt so like I meant something and like I made a difference in somebody's life. I was like, holy shit, this is why I do what I do. This is why we're doing what
Right,
we're doing.
right.
It's like, because that's what the world's about. And it's such an ugly place right now and it's only getting uglier.
Mm-hmm.
Hugs to our audience. Thank you for listening and watching. It's awesome. But yeah,
So, but you're still doing something you love though, because on top
Yeah.
of all that now, the entrepreneur life, but you're still artistically because you're still dancing.
Yeah, I am.
Tell us about that because it's really cool what you're doing traveling around.
Yeah, I'm traveling with a burlesque company. They're called the Lala's Burlesque Group. And yeah, we travel to different places across the U.S. And yeah, we just perform like burlesque dances. It's cool. It's really fun. It's actually the craziest thing. Like right before COVID hit, I auditioned for them in, I think it was February of 2020. So literally like a month before COVID hit. And I didn't get it. Actually, that's a lie. I did get it. But then COVID hit and I couldn't do the job. So it was like a job in Canada. And I couldn't do it, whatever. So then, you know, it didn't happen. And then literally in August of 2022, I got a random email from the director, the creator, and she was like, hey, remember that audition like 2 years ago? Yeah, we need someone. Do you want to be a part of the group? And I was like,
Fuck yeah.
yeah. And I actually I didn't really obviously I follow them on Instagram and everything. So whenever I would see their posts, I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely still something I want to do. But I honestly thought that the moment had fleeted. I thought it was like, you know, there's no more auditions for them, whatever. So I thought, you know, my opportunity was up. So when that happened, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it also happened around like the same time I was going through a bunch of shit. Like October was when I really felt like this was my time to thrive, and it was my breaking point / thriving point. But in August, I was also kind of going through it and trying to find like my purpose and what am I supposed to do, like whatever. And so that was an opportunity that came my way that kind of forced me into getting my shit together and like finding that love again to perform. And they sent me over like 4 different videos that I had to learn off of a video, off of my own phone. So it forced me into like that, what's the word? It starts with a D. I can't think of it. What the fuck? What is the word? Whatever. It forced me into getting my shit together and just, yeah.
it's amazing. We were talking about you just have to do things because you honestly don't know what's gonna happen. Like it's you plant little seeds throughout your life, and like some you may forget about and they may die off, or some may be getting watered by some other source, and then years later, that seed has like sprouted into something. You're like, oh, I forgot about that,
right.
but I did it.
Yeah.
Like I planted that seed, and now look where it is.
Yeah.
So you never know. Like if you keep those seeds in your pocket, nothing's gonna sprout.
Absolutely.
You don't know. They just die in your pocket.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be good there.
Yeah. It's just proof that like your timeline is your timeline for a reason. And like wherever you are right now in this moment of time is exactly where you're supposed to be. And like I have been like, there's been so many signs that have proven that to me, like throughout my years of like just life ever. And that's one of them is that opportunity. If I would have gotten it back in 2020, like before COVID hit, like if COVID never happened and whatever, it would have just been another opportunity. You know, I maybe wouldn't have been as grateful for it or, you know, whatever. But getting it at the moment that I did, it was another thing that literally saved me in a moment of darkness, so
It's amazing.
it had
how
more meaningful. Yeah.
life works out, but you have to work for it.
Yeah.
It to work for you, right?
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
and even when you like, you're living your dream.
Yeah.
Like that's cool. You
Yeah.
get to dance, you have the entrepreneurship, but I think something that I've learned, and I know we've all learned, and like, what advice would you give to somebody that's kind of trying to get where you get? Because what I think a lot of people don't realize is once you achieve that dream, you got to work 10 times harder now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because now you got to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to somebody that is one in your shoes trying to keep that dream alive, but then somebody who's looking up to you is like, yo, she did it. I want to do it, but I don't think I can.
I would say for someone that wants to become that and be where I am right now and just take that leap, like you just have to take the leap, and it's going to be scary, and because you're kind of dropping everything that you already know, like the 9 to 5, the whatever, but you have to make time for it. If it's something that you want to do, you have to cut out other things in your life that are taking up its space in a sense. And so one of the things that was scary for me but happened in my favor was losing that job. And if I didn't lose that job, like I was so comfortable there. It was 10 years of everything I needed. Income, health insurance, 401k, like why would anyone leave that job? But at the same time, there was a form of toxicity in it and it was comfortable. So if I wouldn't have lost that, I wouldn't have all of this time and to figure out like, what do I really want to do with my time? And now that I'm in this position, I'm still learning how to continue to gain the momentum every single day to achieve my goals. But right now, I would say to just like go where the passion is, like day to day, like follow wherever the light is, the positivity, like the love, like just take it a day at a time, and wherever, just follow that. Like you may wake up one day and feel like I just need to rest today.
Mm-hmm.
Then just rest. Like you deserve it. And if the next day you're like, yeah, I want to achieve, like I have a goal today and I'm going to achieve it, then achieve it. Like that's all I can say, because that's all I'm doing right now is just following that intuition and following the light every day and like the positivity.
Yeah.
Any like form of that darkness that that I start to feel throughout my day or whatever, you just have to like think of the exact opposite and don't fuel that and just follow the light, follow the love.
Hell yeah.
Seems like you did a lot of that.
Yeah.
So on this crazy journey of yours, before we get you out of here, what's the thing you're the most grateful for?
My boyfriend.
Aww. He's back there.
Oh, he's a good dude.
I'm grateful for him too.
Yeah,
a good
he's the
dude.
best.
And honestly, I got to say thank you because I have seen such a change in him. He was always such an amazing energy, but the impact that you have had on him, the things he's told me about how much he loves you, like he just lights up when he talks about you. And again, if you have not watched their TikTok videos, it's so cute and adorable. It makes you want to vomit type of thing.
Same.
But like, it's still, there's a lot of other people that do it. I'm like, that I really do want to vomit when you guys do it. But
Right.
when they do it, it's like, it's kind of cool. They dance all over the place.
Right.
But seriously, thank you so much for taking care of my boy. He's like my little brother, and I wouldn't be where I am without him, and I know he wouldn't be where he is without you.
Thank you.
So thank you, and thank you for being a part of the Chaos team. Thank you for being a part of the
course.
family. We
Thank you for
appreciate
sharing.
having you on.
Thank you for
letting all
having
that-
me.
Thank you for your
Yeah.
vulnerability. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
There's
Thank you.
You're definitely going to inspire even more people, and we can't wait to continue to watch your journey.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Nikki.
Thank
And
you
if you
so
want to
much.
share,
Yeah,
your
please let everyone know where
socials.
they can find you and see all the cool things that you're doing.
Yes. So my Instagram and TikTok actually is both Ayo Nikki with 3 Y's, AYYYONIKKI. And then you can find all my links to my merch and everything on there. Hi, girl.
Nikki.
Ayo
Hey,
Nikki.
go follow, check it out. We'll catch up with you guys again next time on the Chaos. See you later.
Love
Peace.
y'all. Mwah.